Good morning. Thank you for joining me on the channel. I'm Sean from Urban Tactical Survival. And this morning, on this beautiful Sunday morning, we're talking about Mora blades. Specifically, the Morakniv Bushcraft Black Survival. This is a black blade. It is a high carbon steel blade with a black polymer handle. It has DLC coating to help prevent from rust and corrosion. Has a polymer sheath with an integrated ferro rod and a diamond sharpener. It is a full tang blade. The blade itself is 4 inches long. Thickness is 3.2 millimeters thick. Total length of the blade is 8.5 inches long, weighing in at 228.5 grams, which is around about 9 ounces. Very lightweight. MSRP on PKS Pathfinder Knife Shop store and their website comes in at $78.99. This is a blade that's made in Sweden. This company has been making blades for years and are known for their very excellent craftsmanship on blades. This blade is known throughout the world. You can't go anywhere and speak of Mora and people not know what you're talking about. This is a very excellent blade. So we're going to go into the spec. We're going to go into what it can and cannot do, and its pros and cons. And I've got some wood back here from a downed tree limb, and we're going to do some woodwork over here. Get some stuff carved up, see what it can do and what it can't do. Here's what the blade looks like out of the sheath. Okay, full tang, like I said. It's a high carbon steel blade, DLC coating to help prevent from corrosion. Mora on the blade, so you know you got a Mora blade. So this is a dangler style sheath. So once you put it on your belt loop, it moves with you whenever you're sitting down. It doesn't jam up on you because of the dangler style blade sheath here. So it's an excellent blade. So we're gonna do a little woodwork here, see just what its capabilities are and what it can't do. So for starters, what it can do is do some feather sticks here. Do have some wood. I did get chopped up earlier. So you can, very sharp blade, and you can get some woodwork stuff done at your campsite. This is an excellent piece of wood for a stake. So I have been in situations where gone camping and one of the party members in my party forgot their stakes or didn't have enough stakes for their guide rods on their tent, and we needed to make a stake so they can stake out their tent. So let me put my shades down. That good morning sun is coming up and blinding me. So I showed them how to make a stake. Went and got some wood and processed the wood and showed them how to make a stake. So I'm able to do that with this blade. And you know that old saying, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You show him how to fish and you feed him for life. So instead of doing the process and doing it for that individual, I showed them how to do it, and now they know how. So when they go out and they decide, because of weight in their backpack, they want to leave their stakes and they want to make some, they'll know how. And then they'll be in a position later that if someone forgets their steaks, they'll know how to make steaks for them. So I'm just going to sharpen this down on one end to help facilitate getting it in the ground. And then on the other end, you want to you're going to make the notch on this end. Okay, you don't want to go all the way through. You just want to go about half an inch down from the top, and you start your notch there. Rock this back and forth so you can bite into the wood. And once you got in there, you just want to peel out a little bit at a time here. Peel out some wood. I'm here in one of my local parks I like to come to, and got people up early this morning. Out exercising and doing whatever. So I just saw a man taking a pontoon out of here. I guess he's gonna put it on the lake or transfer it to somewhere storage. So you just want to cut into the wood here to make a steak, and just peel some of the wood here. Want to make a notch on the end so it gives the guideline something to hook onto. So there you go, nice little steak. All right, you might want to round off the top a little bit. It'll help keep from possibly splitting the head of the steak when you hammer this into the ground. If it was a flat top and you started hammering it into the ground, you could split the wood. But by rounding it off on the top, you can prevent that from happening. Now, ultimately, over a period of time, if you're going to use these over and over and over, eventually it will split no matter what, okay? Because you are hammering it down into the ground and you're putting force on the top, so it will split anyway. But at least by doing this now, you can prevent that from happening, so you can get the job and use the steak. If it's a one-time use, then I wouldn't worry about it. But if you're gonna use it multiple times because you're getting up moving from one campsite to another, then it will be an issue. You might want to use thicker wood and round this off at the tip like I'm doing here. So get this rounded off, shave off some of this here. This is a very sharp blade. Comes very sharp right out the box. And then with a diamond sharpener right here on the sheath, you're able to sharpen this blade or hone it back in the field whenever you need to. It's not a stone that will last very long. You might want to get something bigger, something, you know, much thicker stone, much bigger stone, a real high quality stone that has 2 different grits on it. This only has 1 grit. So for a quick sharpening job in the field, 1 time maybe, or 2 times, yeah, you can use this and get the job done, but it's not something that's going to be used prolonged over a period of time. You will have to replace this, or you're going to have to go to a bigger stone and take a bigger stone with you so you can do better jobs at sharpening this. But this blade comes out the box razor sharp, so it will be a while before this goes dull, and then you'll have to put another edge on it. I believe the blade edge on this is a Scandi grind. It's a Scandi grind blade with edge on it. Very comfortable ergonomic in your hand. The rubber grip on the handle is very, very positive in your hand. You feel like you really got a grip on it when you hold it onto it. It feels very strong in your hand. So it's not going to slip, even if your hands were wet. This is not going to slip out your hand. It has a little rubber jimping here on the front up here. It's not very tall and very, you know, not like it was steel jimping up there, but it is a rubberized, but it is a full tang blade, so that's what you want. So here's a stake that someone could use in their campsite. Like I said, the cordage will go up in there and you hammer that into the ground at that angle and use that as a stake. Here, let me just put that one right there. Here's one I did earlier. It's a little thicker. Now, as far as feather sticks is concerned, we can do that. Okay. You'll have to excuse the sound of the railroad going past. They have certain times of the day, I think it's 3 or 4 times a day that they come through on a schedule. So right now we got one going past. Okay. So feather sticks, I'm able to get that done. So here you go, nice feather stick. There we go. Nice feather sticks. There's one I did earlier. And you can see that. Nice one there. Is the one I just did. Okay, so you can get the feather sticks done with this blade for assisting in getting a fire going. So there we go with that. Let's see. You got a piece of wood here. Okay, I want to split this a little bit. So I'll split this for some smaller wood for a fire. You're able to do that. As you can see, I split that. There's another piece I'm gonna split. Okay, so put that down even further. Put some small firewood. There's another piece. Let's put this down even further. So you can baton this blade. Small pile of wood there. I got another piece here. And here. Tying that all the way down. Okay, so that's its cons. Its pros. You can do feather sticks, and you can get some, make some stakes to stake out your tent in the event that you leave your stakes, or someone comes to a campsite without them, or short-handed. You can make some stakes with them, with this blade, and you can make feather sticks, as I showed you. This is one I did earlier. This one was done with my PKS Mountaineer, and this one was done just now this morning with this blade, my Mora. So I'm gonna go ahead and get another piece here and do another one here. Now when you're making feather sticks, you want to rotate the wood from time to time so you get an even contact on the wood when making feather sticks. Because as you go down, you are going to be removing wood and causing that wood to curl up on you. So to move it, rotate it. Now, I've seen guys do feather sticks, and when they're done, it looks like a hairbrush. I mean, I would say they mastered the art of feather sticking, just to prove that they can do it and get them looking like a brush or curly brush or something. I'm not interested in that. I'm trying to start a fire, so I don't want it to look pretty. I just want to get a few curls, you know, enough that I can use to get a fire going. I'm not interested in an art form, an art project. And they turned it into an art project, which for them, it's okay. That's what they want. Okay. Just enough to get a fire going. That's all I need. Get that in there. Okay. There we go. Started on the opposite side. Because I'm not trying to turn this into an art project. When you're doing this, you want to be careful not to try to go all the way through, okay? You want to stop at a point where the curls, they curl up, and you get a few of them curling up, and then you want to come back and push back down to get some more curls, okay? You don't want to go through the blade, through the wood, because you're cutting them off and you're defeating the purpose. You're cutting them right off. Now, if that happens, can you use the shavings? Sure you can. You just gather them up and use them as a fire starter on the ground. But feather sticks is what you want here. This is what you want here. So you want to shave this so you're getting feathers on the stick. hence the word feather stick, not feather shavings. So this is a nice feather stick. Now, also, the ferro rod does come with a integrated ferro rod on it, right there. Has a lanyard. Just pull the lanyard over. I'm gonna put that in there so I don't cut myself. And you can pull the ferro rod out. It's a nice 3-inch ferro rod, enough for a survival situation. That's why it's called the survival blade. This is a fairly decent rod, and it will give off some sparks, or the blade and the ferro rod. So let's take the blade out. The Mora does have a 90-degree spine, which aids in striking. Getting sparks. Let's see if we can get this feather stick started here. Take that, set it right there. Wouldn't you know it, just as I'm trying to get this lit, the wind wants to kick up. Yeah. The wind wants to kick up on me and blow it. Wish I had some fat wood. So Looks like I'm not going to get a fire started on this. Wind is blowing up too fast, too high. So I won't get a spark to take. But as you can see, it will throw sparks. So if I had some fat wood, I definitely would have gotten that started. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. This does have a very positive lock in on the blade. And as I'm shaking it here, it's not coming loose. Like I said, it is a dangler. So when you mount this to your belt, it's not going to jab you in any way because the blade will move. It's a very good blade. Now its cons, this is not a chopper. It's not going to chop much wood. You can baton with it, so you can get you a nice piece of wood, and I could split this. I'll show you. I could split this in half, baton here, as you can see. Split that in two, then split this again, there. But as a chopper, like the chopping capabilities of my axe, it's not going to do that. This axe will get all the chopping done. But the Mora is not a chopper. It is a survival knife designed to wow, the hawk just flew down and landed right here and then took off. Beautiful bird. I guess I surprised him. He wasn't expecting me being here. But the Morakniv Bushcraft Black survival knife does just that. It helps you survive in a precarious situation that you might find yourself in. But it's not going to chop wood. So if you don't have an axe or a bigger blade, you're not going to get any wood chopped. You can use it to chop maybe some smaller branches with it, but larger branches for firewood, it's not going to get that done. That's the drawback to this blade, and rightfully so, because it's not designed for that. You know, I see people, guys on the internet, they want to take blades, axes, all kinds of equipment, and they want to go to the extreme in testing it, doing extreme unorthodox things to the blades or whatever they're testing outside of the realm of its natural function. And I don't believe in those tests because it's not a natural function of that item. Like, I'm not going to try to take this blade and go dig a hole with it or chop down a tree that's 6 inches in diameter, or try to even baton something that's 6 inches in diameter. I'm just not going to do that because that's not the normal realm of functionality of this blade or any other blade that I have. So I'm not going to put it through that type of test. Or they might want to take this and drag it behind their car just to see what kind of beating it would take. It would take the kind of beating that you're putting on it. But in a normal survival situation, me surviving does not mean I have to take this blade and drag it through the dirt. So I don't believe in those kind of tests. I believe in doing the test with the blade that is naturally designed for. And that's batoning wood, doing some feather sticks, maybe chopping small wood. A piece of wood about this. This is about 2 inches in diameter. Okay, that's 2 inches in diameter. And with a baton, you know, chopping this, it's just not going to happen because the blade is too small. Okay? To get this chopped and chop through it would take me hours. I mean hours. It's just not designed for that. So I'm not going to even try to chop through a piece of wood even 2 inches thick. If I don't have an axe, okay, I'm not getting through that. That's not what it's designed for. It's carving, feather sticking, batoning wood. You can baton that wood 2-3 inches thick. You can baton it even 4 inches thick. You can baton that wood, but trying to chop down something with this is not going to happen. So that's not what it's designed for, and I don't agree with those types of tests in any way. I've seen them done with pistols. You take a gun and you put it, they done it with Glocks. You put it on the back end of a truck and you drag it 1,000 yards or drag it through the dirt 1,000 yards. For what? That's not what the pistol was designed for. And if you want to check and test its durability and its reliability, well, you put it out on the shooting range and you shoot the shit out of it. Okay? You shoot the shit out of it, lubricated and unlubricated. And there you can get your results that you could possibly be looking for. But to drag it behind a truck or even roll over it with a truck, it's not what it's designed for. So, here, the Morakniv Bushcraft Black Survival Knife is an excellent knife. This is one of the knives that I would carry with me. But my go-to blade is the PKS Mountaineer from the Pathfinder's knife shop. That's my go-to blade. This would be my secondary, solely because this blade is much smaller. It is a good survival blade. Can you survive with this blade? Yes, you can. You can process meat. You could tie this on to a long stick and use it as a spear to possibly kill game with it. Yes, you can. Outside of doing things like that, to chop down a tree, no, you can't. It's not going to get done. That's not what it's designed for. So, this is an excellent blade, survival blade, to help you survive in the wilderness. If you're caught out there and needed extra help getting home, this blade will help you get there. Cutting cordage, cutting something to use as a shelter, that you can do with this blade. But to drag it behind a car or a truck or roll over it with a truck, I'm not going to do that. Because, like I said, dragging it through the ground with a truck is not something that will facilitate my survival. So, as you can see here, batoning, feather sticking, you can do that. This is a great blade. You can find them on the Pathfinder store, PKS knife shop. You can find this blade there, and along with a host of other Mora blades. Yeah, this one came in at what 78 or $89. Nice blade. The sheath is very strong and nice grip on the handle with the rubberized handle. Full tang. So just wanted to come out and do this video, quick video, give you specs on that and show you what it can do, talk about what it can't do. And if you're looking to, and you saw this blade and you was thinking about getting one, don't hesitate. I would get one. Get one and put it into your toolbox of blades. You can't go wrong with this blade. It is an excellent blade. So that's the Morakniv Bushcraft Black Survival. That's all I got for you today. I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of the sun this morning and go get some coffee done. So in the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Remember, now's the time to prepare, and always check your six. Peace out. Let me get my old behind up off of this stump.